I want to just take a moment and speak to the nature of holding space. And it might help us to set a tone for this time together. For me, holding space is about being present without an agenda, while also having a sincere openness for life to expose something beautiful. And naturally, this holding space can come in all different shapes and sizes for all different types of circumstance. We can hold space for a friend or a loved one. We can hold space for ourselves. We can hold space in moments like this where we just show up together without an agenda and with a profound openness for a deeper truth and beauty to be seen. And it's quite fascinating because, in contrast, our traditional ways of showing up, which is completely understandable, but so often we're burdened by an agenda where we enter a moment with the hopes of getting something, maintaining something, holding on to something. There's an agenda that reaches beyond the present moment. And this is a playful disaster when it relates to connecting with ourselves, others, and life. And so these opportunities that we share with these live video broadcasts is an opportunity to connect with a more authentic and loving space. And naturally, if you've followed my sharing for any length of time and listened to my recordings, you might be aware that the vast majority of my offerings are completely spontaneous, meaning that the recordings you listen to are me showing up in some space, whether it's an event, a retreat, a live broadcast, and the recordings of which are just me showing up and sharing whatever arises in the moment. And naturally, there might be a title occasionally. There might be some sort of focus of discovery. But really, I show up without a bunch of things to say, without a plan, so to speak. Because in my journey of doing this for over a decade, there's been a profound teacher in my experience, which is presence in life, which invites me to just show up empty and enjoy what life wants to show me. And naturally, what is seen from behind my heart and eyes, I then get to communicate in a very playful and beautiful way. And that also speaks also to the nature of what I do. And that is, I am attempting to articulate something that is seen from within that really cannot be captured by the words that I use. And so, in a very direct and playful way, there's nothing that I'm saying that is true. If anything, this is all poetry, where I am very playfully looking to put words to something that ultimately is impossible. And it's very easy to get hung up on the words, thinking I'm saying the right or wrong thing or thinking you agree or disagree. And that's really not the point. I'm not here to declare or imply something that's ultimately true when words ultimately fail at touching reality. And so as we share this space together, allowing for love to be seen, let's remember that the space that we share is so much more important than anything that might come out of my mouth. Because behind everything that I say is really a way of communicating a love for what you are, for life, and an invitation to see how free you are. And if you want to argue with that freedom, you are free to argue. And that's perfectly fine. But again, this is all a reflection of what I see in my own experience. And so in many ways, I'm just talking to myself. And you get to listen in and see if there's any resonance. And there's a magic that happens when we come together in this way, without all the hangups, without even the hangup of thinking that I'm a teacher, even though I understand that in appearances it looks like that. But for me, it's not what I'm doing. I'm looking within what I am, I'm seeing something beautiful, and I'm sharing that beauty, which for me speaks to the fundamental point and opportunity of being human. Discover something beautiful on the inside of what you are, and then share it with the world. And so welcome. We're going to hang out here for another 50 minutes or so. And I'm going to share whatever arises. Don't really know what I'm going to talk about. There'll be some long pauses, some quiet spaces. And then as questions come in, I can speak to those questions. At the end of our time, we will rest in a very short and sweet guided meditation. And then hopefully when we're done, you'll recognize a beautiful invitation to continue your day with a spirit of love and play. So thank you. And we're going to just begin with a few moments of silence and just allow ourselves to really drop in to this space that we are sharing together.